Alright guys, welcome back to the garage. Wednesday the 17th of June 2020. Beautiful day outside today. It's going to be a kind of a mixed bag of projects today. First job of the day will be cleaning the trailer again. Les borrowed the trailer a couple days ago. And I've got to get the straps reorganized and put away. And get the battery on charge, etc. So that's probably the first job of the day. Second job of the day is probably to move all these panels out that I was talking about. That's the reason why I brought the trailer home, was to store all of the TR250 panels and get them out of the garage and put away safely. So we'll do that today. I finally received my fuel pump for my bike project, BMW R1150 RT. So we'll continue on with that at some point. I know my car guys are not too interested in bikes, but been waiting for those parts for some time. So be good to get the fuel pump put back into the tank and then the bike reassembled. Still waiting for my fog driving lights, but I actually picked up some bulbs locally, so I'll see if I can get those to work. So we're getting pretty close to finishing off of this project now that I have all the parts, so I just need to find the time to work on it. So hopefully we'll maybe get this done by the end of the day. And then we'll move back onto the body tub of the TR250 and continue to get it ready to get it into its final coat of epoxy primer, followed by its first, second, and third probably coats of high build primer. And then the sanding starts all over again. Anyway, let's get busy. We'll get that trailer cleaned out first. It's going to be hot the next 3 or 4 days, up to probably about 90 degrees out here in the garage, so we'll enjoy it when it's cooler out here. So the mornings are a good time to work. Alright guys, Sunday, June 21st, Father's Day up here, so happy Father's Day to my dad. It's also my brother's birthday. He's a little older than I am, so happy birthday to my brother Scott. Spoke to them both this morning. So anyway, it's about 10:30 or so, and it's going to be a hot one today. Already 80 plus in the garage, going up to 95-ish or so, high humidity, so it's kind of uncomfortable out here, but we'll make the best of it. So we've been, well, we've pretty much finished the work on the BMW. You'll be happy to hear that. I do have one small oil leak to contend with. It's coming out of the valve cover on the left-hand side of the bike. There's a gasket that goes around the spark plug hole that I think I need to renew. So I had a bit of a struggle getting it back in, and obviously I didn't get it back in good enough. So we'll replace that, and that should be it for that bike. We'll take that to get certified and plated, and hopefully we'll be driving that soon. Anyway, we've been working out in the garage cleaning and moving stuff into the trailer in order to get ready for painting or primering and painting this car, TR250. So we got the trailer starting to be loaded up. I've been trying to keep the center clear just in case I want to put the bike in there as well. So that's looking fairly organized. I can still get to everything, which is good. I don't want to cram it so full that I can't get anything out that I require. So yeah, I think what the next steps for me are today is to move the body tub a little bit and clean the floor underneath the body. I also need to get the transmission out from underneath of it. So we'll jack the body up, get the trans out, put the trans in the trailer to get that out of the way. And we'll reposition the body a little bit just in order to clean underneath it and to get it a little bit better position for priming eventually. So that's what the job is for today. Not sure how long I'll be out here for. We'll get the fan cranked up in here. It is going to be a hot one, so lots of brakes and lots of fluids. Alright guys, Sunday evening. Just had a little rainstorm pass through. It's been pretty hot and humid all day, and the rain's cooled things down a bit, so that's nice. Anyway, we've got the garage looking a little different setup, and got the car positioned in the middle of the garage on a bit of an angle, which gives me good access to all sides of the car, front and back and sides, to do my epoxy priming, followed by the high build primer step that we're trying to get to. So yeah, spent the day out here cleaning and moving things into the trailer that I could, and just doing a little bit of reorg. So it definitely looks a little roomier in here. It'll definitely look much roomier when I've got the bike out of here. The intent originally was to put the bike in the trailer, but I think what I'll do is I'll just end up rolling the bike outside and putting it under cover if I need to actually paint anything in the garage. It should be a little easier than actually trying to get it in and out of the trailer all the time. So anyway, that's it, guys. Just wanted to give you a quick update. It was very hot out here today. But yeah, it's definitely looking a little more organized and a little cleaner, and a little better environment to paint in, that's for sure. Alright guys, that's it for now. We'll talk to you later. Thanks for watching. Alright guys, Wednesday the 24th of June 2020, and the sanding continues on the 68 TR250 project. Still working on this rear a little bit, just trying to finish this off before we move on to a different area. Probably going to work on the lower sills a little bit. I want to do a little bit more grinding, I think, on the bottom here. I'm not happy with the where the plug welds have been done. They're kind of sitting a little bit proud, so those need to be finished off a little bit better. I'm not too concerned about the ones up here because this will be covered with a trim strip, or not a trim strip, but a rubber trim. And the bottom here, you can see they're a little proud, so we're gonna grind those down a little bit while we're under the sill, cleaning that up a little bit. So yeah, so we're still just moving along in the process in order to get this into a sealer coat of epoxy and then the high build primer step. So we wanted to try to do that while the epoxy's in its open window time, which is only, I think, 2 days for the product I have, so 48 hours before you have to recoat. So what I need to do really is just a plan to do the epoxy and then obviously try to get the seam sealer done and the final 2K primer done in that 48-hour window, because I don't have to resand the entire thing to be able to do that. So that's what the plan is. So we're working towards that slowly. Perfect temperature out in the garage today. It's 20 degrees, 21 degrees Celsius. It's about 70 degrees Fahrenheit, so it's perfect working temperature in the garage. Alright guys, now Friday afternoon, and I've gone through the entire car now and scuff sanded it to get it ready for epoxy primer, for a sealing coat of epoxy primer. So we'll probably go through it once more in a little bit more detail, just to make sure I've got all the spots. Then we'll wipe it down with grease and wax remover. We'll wipe it down with rubbing alcohol, and then we'll go ahead and we'll shoot it with the sealer coat of epoxy, and then we'll follow that up within the 48-hour window with high build primer. In between that, we're going to actually do the seam sealing, so it'll be epoxy primer or epoxy sealer, if you want to call it, seam sealer, and then high build primer. So that's the plan. Hopefully in the next few days, or over the next few days. Alright guys, Saturday afternoon, about 3 p.m. and I think we're ready to go on the black epoxy. We got about 85 degrees Fahrenheit, almost 30 degrees Celsius on the thermometer, and we got about 40% humidity, which isn't too bad. So we've drained the compressor, and we've got the gun set up, just about to mix up our epoxy. We're going to thin it a bit. We're going to do it more as a sealer as opposed to a primer, so we're going to thin it with a little bit of reducer, and we're going to spray it out of a 1.4 tip, hopefully. And so I'm using my Concourse Eastwood gun with a D-cup system, because I want to be able to spray upside down in some parts, like under here, for example, under the at the bulkhead area in the cockpit. It's going to be a little difficult to spray up under there with a normal cup, so the D-cups is going to be good for that. So I figured I'd try to reduce down to a little tip size in order to get my D-cups adapter on a gun. I only got a D-cups adapter for my SATA jets and for my Eastwood gun, so we're gonna have to make do with the Eastwood gun. All right guys, next time you see this car, hopefully it will be black. All right guys, just coming up to around 6:30 or so, and a big milestone in the project. The car is now back into one solid color, even though it's just epoxy primer. It makes me feel good. Very hot in the garage spraying today with the mask on, trying not to sweat all over the car. And I managed to get a few drops of moisture here and there. But overall it looks pretty good. I think I did a fairly good job of coverage. I saw a few spots already that were a little bit light, but I'm not sure how this is going to come out in the video. My bodywork looks pretty good, so I'm happy with that. So these were the two areas of concern, were these legs down the bottom, and they actually turned out not bad. The right hand side one needs a little bit of work on my line. At the top it seems to go off a little to the right a little bit, but other than that they look pretty good. All that body work we did on the rear of the car actually looks pretty good. Next steps are seam sealer. So we're going to do that within the next day or two. We have 48 hours to get this onto the next stage, which will be the high build primer stage. So the open window on the epoxy primer that I have here, which is the Proform primer sealer, is 48 hours. So that means we don't have to sand this car again as long as we shoot our high build within that 48-hour window. So we'll work hard tomorrow and the next day on getting our seam sealer done, and then hopefully we'll get this into that 2K high build primer. Alright guys, that's it for now. Just thought I'd share that with you. We'll upload this video so you can see what I've been up to. Not a lot of content in this video, but it's kind of a major milestone for me at least, to have the car back into one color. Alright guys, thanks for watching, and we'll talk to you later.